What's going on YouTube? So I just got done watching Haney versus Kambosos, and to get right into it, I scored the fight 10 rounds to 2 in Haney's favor. Alright. Haney didn't let Kambosos get anything off hardly the entire fight. Alright. In my prediction video, I predicted that Haney would win, and I predicted that Haney would outbox Kambosos, which turned out that I was right. Yeah, it was. I scored it 118 to 110, man. I mean, it was an ugly fight for Kambosos, man. I thought that it was going to be a lot more competitive, and I expected for Kambosos to eventually pick up the pace and make it a dogfight, which I thought he should have done, but it just didn't happen that way. Haney was primarily controlling Kambosos from the outside using that beautiful jab of his, and he was also picking the right shots wherever he was, whether it was from the mid-range to the outside, because when they were both right up on each other on the inside, Haney would often clinch, which is the smart thing to do, especially like if you're a pick'em type of fighter where you don't string together a lot of combinations. You just snap your shots, and you may throw 3 shots at tops as far as a combination is concerned. But Haney picked the right shots, man. Haney was also displaying excellent timing, man. I mean, he was countering Kambosos from top to bottom. He was moving his head off the line, all right, often this fight. And he also did a great job keeping his back off the ropes. Every time Haney found himself backpedaling towards the ropes, he would pivot off the ropes immediately, or he would spin off the ropes immediately and take the fight right back to the middle of the ring. So, and he was also given excellent angles to give to top it off. So Haney, he fought a perfect fight, man. And as far as the bad that I've seen coming from Haney, I'll say that I noticed that after he jabbed, he would often dip his head to the right, where Kambosos started to catch on to that in the earlier rounds, and he would often try to meet Haney where he knew Haney's head would be, which was dipped to the right. And eventually, Haney made an adjustment and stopped doing that as often, which was good, all right? Now, as far as Kambosos is concerned, Kambosos, there was more bad than good to me, all right? And I'll start with the good for Kambosos. He started out throwing some good combinations in spots, quote unquote, all right? He, happened to land some decent body shots and some shots over the top, but Haney's head movement and his foot speed was just too much for Kambosos, and he really didn't know what to do, and he didn't make any form of adjustments at all. Like I just explained earlier, you got to make it a dogfight. But to get back on topic, he also showed good durability, and he showed heart, all right? The last of 12 rounds, there were some spots where I felt as though he was hurt, but I could be wrong. I mean, if anything, he didn't show it, which plays to his favor, all right? And also in the later rounds, he went to the body. But even later than the rounds that I've noticed that he went to the body, he ended up, he went away from that game plan. So as far as the bad, I noticed that Kambosos was walking in without a jab. He wasn't jabbing at all this fight, opposed to Haney. Haney was essentially winning this fight with his jab alone. He didn't even need a right hand. He didn't need hooks. He didn't need no straight rights to the body. He was picking that mug off with that jab the entire time, the entire fight, all 12 rounds. It was a jab fest in Haney's favor. None for Kambosos, all right? He was also throwing shots from too far out of range, man. And he wasn't slipping any of Haney's shots, all right? He kept that head on the center line the whole entire fight. And he was targeting the head more than the body as well, and he wasn't fainting, offsetting, looking to try to offset Haney's rhythm. And, he wasn't even attempting to close the distance behind effective aggression, which I felt was problematic, all right? And it seemed as though he started to get tired in the earlier rounds, okay? And obviously when you're throwing a lot of shots and you're missing more than you're hitting your target, you're going to get gas, And Haney was also going to the body with his jab, and, he was landing some good hooks, right hooks to the body as well. But Haney really wasn't going to the body as much either, but it turned out that he really didn't have to. So, in all, I'm happy. I was really, to be honest with y'all, I was rooting for Kambosos to win. But even with me saying that, I really don't care who won, what the outcome was in the end. I'm glad that Haney got the belts, and even if Kambosos was to win these belts, see, my point of where I'm getting at is this: regardless on who won Undisputed, I would have trusted. I trust both of those guys to do the right things behind having those belts. And what do I mean by that? There are a lot of guys who have won or who are currently undisputed, and well, we just gonna talk about past fighters, and I'm gonna even throw a name out there in Teofimo Lopez. I feel as though I can trust Haney and Kambosos with the undisputed titles because, of the fact that I trust that they'll make the fights that we want, we being the fans would love to see. So I feel as though if T.O. were to still be undisputed, he would vacate the belts and he would move up to 140 rather than giving Loma a second shot and, giving Haney a shot and even, giving a rematch to Kambosos, even though, it would have depended. That fight was a good fight. So even if they were to rematch, I wouldn't have minded that. But it didn't happen like that. So yeah, man, I trust that Haney is going to look to want to fight Tank. Haney is hella confident, man, and I respect that young boy, and I also respect Kambosos. I got to give both of those guys their just dues, man, because Kambosos, like I just stated, if he were to have those titles, man, he would have went after Tank. He would have went after all the top guys. Kambosos is such a class act, and I love that guy to death, man. I wish him nothing but the best in the future, And the same goes for Haney. Haney is willing to fight anybody at this point, especially now that he has undisputed. I can see him defending his titles. Hopefully he will. But that's really all I have to say, man. Please like, share, and subscribe, and comment below what you guys think and thought about the fight. I would like to know. Until next time, peace.